So we had finished this mutual inductance yesterday. So I just wanted to ask if there is anyone who's having any doubt in this now. We had finished this mutual inductance. So is there any doubt? We had seen the combination also. Combination of inductors and mutual inductors. Mutual inductance is not considered. Okay, so we will just treat them as normal resistor. That's it. Okay. So till now, here we have finished. I told you that we will start with AC generators and eddy current. Okay, that is what is left here now. Okay. So is there any doubt in mutual inductance? Yes, mutual induction, yesterday's class. Is there any doubt? Yes. Okay, fine. So just see here. In this, we had done magnetic flux, Faraday's law of induction, then Lenz law, energy consideration, then this energy consideration, a quantitative study we have done. This equation we have derived. The equation is in front of you. Okay. Then eddy current is there. Okay. One point is eddy current that we have to finish. Okay. Since we have done mutual, okay, self-induction, and okay, first we have two, and then this finished. So basically today we are going to finish this chapter, right? Okay. It has not come or what? Yeah, it has come. Now, we'll start with the AC generators first. Okay. We'll just finish it in this, okay, NCERT book only, because this is a setup, okay. We have a theory question more. Keeping board in mind, we will see, okay. So whatever will be important thing, I'll just highlight that, okay. I'll just highlight that because this is not a topic which is quite often asked in competitive exams. This is more of a board topic, and already have studied AC generators, DC generators, and DC motors. You have studied in class 10th also. Okay. So very important points only will highlight in this. Okay. And wherever it is necessary, I'll explain you in detail. Okay. So don't worry. We'll totally focus today's lecture on AC generator and eddy currents. Okay. So now just see here what is actually it is saying that because you are studying this in this chapter, electromagnetic induction. So if you have to start this device, okay, to explain this device. So the first thing that you should notice that it works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. Okay, it works on the phenomena of electromagnetic induction. Okay. Now everything and exceptionally important application is that, so all these things are like you can read it, it's not important from examination point of view. Okay, so this is just an extra knowledge about history, okay, whatever has been used or whatever is important. Now Just see here. Then you have to come, okay, that here, this method of producing a flux change is a principle of observe is simple and okay, this thing. This is an important line. The last line is the important line, which I'm highlighting it with the red color. Okay. An AC generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. Okay. So what behind what principle it acts? It functions on the electromagnetic induction principle. Okay. What is the job of an AC generator? It generates electrical energy by converting mechanical energy. So first you will provide a necessary amount of mechanical energy. That mechanical energy will be converted into the electrical energy. I don't know how many of you would have seen manually operated generators. Okay. So if you go in villages now also, some places I'm sure it must be still there. Okay. A handle would be there. Okay. A handle used to be there and people used to rotate that handle with huge force. Okay. So when they used to rotate that handle with huge force, what happened? So that would give them the necessary mechanical energy. Okay. So then the coil would start rotating, and then the electrical energy would be produced. Nowadays this work is done by a motor only. Okay. Now this work is done by the motor only. So this is the one thing, that 2 points that we have got. One is this is based on the phenomena of electromagnetic induction, and an AC generator converts mechanical energy into the electrical energy. This is about the introduction. Now when we have to go to the construction. So what are the basic elements of the AC generator? So basic elements of an AC generator are shown in the figure. So it's slip rings. Okay. Then we have carbon brushes. Okay. Then we have coil. Okay. This is a coil and this is the magnets. These are magnets. These two are the magnets. Okay. So these are the only main components. Coil. Okay. Coil, armature coil, then magnets, then slip rings. Okay. And then carbon brushes. These are the main components of the DC generator, AC generator. Okay. In DC generator, instead of slip rings, we use split rings. Okay. Instead, in DC generator, you would have used split rings. Okay. Split rings. Instead of slip rings, you use split rings. They are of this shape. Okay. They are cut from the middle. Okay. You have a complete ring, and then what we do, we just cut it like this. Okay. This is split rings, but in AC we use slip rings. Okay. So that it is also having a purpose. We'll see that purpose. So first thing, what you have to write down in exam. Okay. You will just start with AC generator. Okay. Then first heading, you'll write on what principle does it acts, then you'll write down about its construction. So within construction, you'll name all these parts. Then you will write down you'll draw the diagram. Okay. Then you'll draw this diagram. This diagram is alone enough. No need to draw much complicated diagrams from other books. This as simple as you can keep. Okay. As simple as you can keep. So you just have to draw this. Okay. 2 bar magnets like this. Then 1 coil like this. Okay. That's it. 1 ring over here, 1 ring over here, and then like this. That's it. This is more than enough what you are expected to draw. Okay. This will give you the full marks from diagram point of view. Okay. Now, what are the functions? We will study later on. About the functions. Now, because this is a electromagnetic induction, okay, there has to be what? Force, because mechanical energy you are supplying. So due to mechanical energy, what will happen? There will be a force in this. So what you have to use here, you have to use Fleming's right hand rule. Which rule you have to use? Fleming's right hand rule. Okay, Fleming's right hand rule. How to present it, I will tell you. How to present it, I will tell you. Okay, I'll just go back where I will draw the things. Okay, it is just, don't worry that I'm teaching you from the book here. Okay, I'll tell you again. Okay, so there you see the presentation, like how you have to write down the things in exam. Okay, step by step I will write it, don't worry. Okay, or if you see me writing, so I would have done the same thing in cyclotron also. If you remember the cyclotron I didn't take, no, I didn't take the cyclotron for you. I guess I have not taken the cyclotron for you. Okay, yeah, cyclotron I have not taken. Yeah, you could see that potentiometer and meter bridge. Okay, potentiometer and meter, cyclotron I took for you. Cyclotron I have taken for you. You said see that also. Cyclotron also the same way presentation you have to do. Anyway, I'll do that. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that afterwards. Let me explain you here the important things. Let me explain you. Now, Fleming's right hand rule we have to use. Okay, Fleming's right hand rule we have to use. So what is right hand rule? Just like left hand rule, you have to stretch your three fingers. You have to stretch your three fingers. F, B, I. Is it okay? F, B, I. Force by thumb. Okay, force by thumb. Magnetic field by index finger. Okay, current by middle finger. You have to stretch it in 90 degree perpendicular to each other. Okay, now force is the one which you are giving which you are giving here. Okay, force thing which you are giving here. Then you have magnetic field. Okay, then you have magnetic field present over here, and then you have a current that whose direction you will determine. Okay, so here what you have to determine is the direction of current. Okay, now just see one thing. Will the direction of magnetic field be from north to south? Yes, the direction of magnetic field will be from north to south. Yes or no? Direction of magnetic field will be from where to where? Will it be from north to south or not? Okay, fine. And if the coil, okay, if the coil is rotated such that, okay, this is okay, I will take this rotation only. I'll take this rotation only. So for this kind of rotation, from this situation, if I name it, okay, if I name it, so suppose this end is P, this end is Q, this end is R, and this end is S. Which end will rise above? Which end will rise above? You just tell me PQ or RS. Which end will rise above from this figure as per the rotation given in the book? Which end will rise above? Yes? Good. Ganesh, Gautam, Stanley, Yuvashri. Okay, all of you have got correct answer. Correct answer. PQ. PQ end will rise above. If you see here, then PQ end will rise above. RS end will go down. RS end will go down. Okay. The magnetic field direction is here. The magnetic field direction is here. The magnetic field direction is here. Now spread your three fingers. You spread your three fingers. All of you do this. All of you do this. Spread your three fingers such that force, okay, thumb is in the direction of force, upward. Okay, blue color line, upward. Okay, then magnetic field should be in the direction of red colored line. Where is your thumb pointing? Where is your middle finger pointing? Align all the three fingers, okay, such that your thumb should be in the direction of force. Your index finger should be in this direction. where is the direction of current? You have to tell me, either it's P to Q or either it's Q to P. Yes. Is it P to Q or Q to P? Okay, I've got the correct answers from Gautam, Ganesh. Okay. Mohan also. Okay, Lakswin, Nagraju. Okay, Niranjana. All of you. P to Q. Okay. I guess all of you have got this direction of current. I think all of you have got this direction of current. Yes. So the current will be like this. Okay. In this PQ, the current is like this. I hope all of you have got this direction of current now. All of you have got this direction of current. Yes. This is the direction of current all of you have got, I hope. Yes. Now, in RS, what will happen? In RS, what will happen? You tell me. In RS, what will happen? You just use right hand, this left hand, Fleming's right hand rule. Again, use right hand rule such that your thumb points in this direction, okay? Your thumb points in this direction. Your index finger points in this direction. Where is the current direction now? Yes. Is it R to S or S to R? Is it R to S or S to R? It should be from R. You will get a like this. Understood? So can I say, if you have understood this thing, so can I say, okay, in nutshell, that current is moving in this direction. Yes. Current is moving like this. Yes or no? Is the induced current moving like this? How many of you have got the direction of current? Is there anyone who is having still any doubt with the current? Is there anyone who is having still any kind of doubt with the current? Yes? No. Okay. Fine. Okay. So if you are able to understand this, explain the examiner this much, okay, in your answer sheet, if you are able to explain the examiner this much point, you will get full marks. Trust me, you will get full marks up to here. If you are able to explain him this much only, okay, the examiner will understand that yes, you have understood everything. Okay. Now, if you see the NCERT book, so there is a complicated figure, okay, which looks like this, which looks somewhat like this. Okay. So now what is the point over here? At a different situation, what happens? The current direction will change. Okay, as the orientation of the loop changes. Okay, as the orientation of the loop changes, the current direction changes. How it changes, you see now. Okay, you no need to draw this diagram. Okay, let me tell you one thing. This is a shortcut. That if you are able to explain the examiner this much, you will get the full mark. Draw the figure, write down everything. And if you are just able to write down one line in highlighted, okay, that the current direction changes, okay, as the orientation of the loop changes in the field. Okay, no need to explain each and every figure. Okay, these are individual figures, no need to explain them. Okay, but if nobody is able to get it, you can write it like that and you'll get, because everything you cannot explain for a 3 marks question or a 5 marks question itself. Writing the principle, drawing figure, okay, then writing the construction, then itself explaining that much only, it would take a lot of time. So you will get marks. 5 marks is more than enough, okay, for that explanation. Okay, they have to give you the 5 marks. Don't worry about that. And for this thing, we will just go back to the normal, okay, and then we'll try to see how this figure can be understood. Okay, now see here, what is a figure actually? Let us see how the figure was drawn. So if you see one thing, I'll just try to draw the figure first. You can draw the figure with me. You can draw the figure with me. Okay. This is North Pole. This is South Pole. I've tried to draw a big figure so that it's easy for you to visualize. Now, I hope for this orientation, everybody has understood. For this orientation, when it is horizontal, okay, and when the armature coil, when this armature coil, okay, rotates like this, okay, when it rotates like this, which means that this PQ part goes up, okay, when this PQ part goes up and this part goes down, okay, for this situation you have understood. Is it now clear? Now we are going to see what will happen once it is vertical. Once it is vertical, what is the situation? Okay. Now, once the magnetic field is like this, okay, once the magnetic field is like this, okay, once the coil is like this, okay, sorry, the coil is like this, at this time, from horizontal position, okay, to till this position, from horizontal position till vertical position, what will happen? The EMF will increase, the flux induced, the flux linked will increase. And when it is vertical like this, it is maximum. It will be maximum. The flux will be maximum. How it will be maximum? You see, the magnetic field lines are like this. Okay. Area vector is also like this. So this is suppose area vector, this is magnetic field. So B dot A, okay, flux will be maximum in this situation because the angle between them is 90 degree. The angle will be 90 degree. Now, when it is from this situation, okay, when it is from horizontal situation to the vertical situation, what is happening? Flux is increasing, EMF is increasing, and everything will be increasing now. Okay. Now, once it moves to the next half, moving to the next half means what? Moving to the next half means what? One stage will come, okay, when after 180 degree of rotation, once after 180 degree of rotation, okay, what will happen? QP will be here and R and S will be like this, okay. What will happen? PQ, RS will be like this. Will it happen or not? You do one thing, you just take a book and rotate 180 degree. You just take a book and rotate it 180 degree. Okay. You just take a book and rotate it 180 degree. What will happen? This situation will come or not? Will you have this situation now? Yes. Will you have this situation? Will you have this situation? Okay, fine. Now when it is moving, now when this is moving, okay, the rotation is same. The rotational sense is same. Okay, you have not changed. You have not changed the sense of rotation. It is still rotating like this. Now in this case, PQ will still go down now, or will it still go up? Now in this case, which end will go up and which one will go down? Yes, SR will go up and PQ will go down. PQ will go down. Yes, PQ will go down. SR will go up. Yes, SR will go up. Now you see, you had told in this case, okay, if you see here, if you see this book, this portion, if you see this, okay, suppose this was my PQSR, okay, so in this situation, current is coming here to here, and the current is moving from Q to P to Q. What will happen in this scenario? What will happen in this scenario? Yes, what will happen in this scenario? In this scenario, now what will happen? The current will get opposite. The current will get opposite. Now the current in this PQ, instead of going from P to Q, it will move from Q to P. Instead of going from S to R, it will go from R to S now. Understood? So what will happen? The current gets reversed. Yeah, are you looking that the current is getting reversed? Can you understand now the current is getting reversed? Yes or no? The current changes its direction. The current changes its direction. Can you visualize it now? Yes. Is current getting reversed now? Is the current getting reversed? If you're not understanding, I'll just draw both the diagrams again. Okay, here itself. See this thing. Initially what was happened? PQRS. This was the direction. Okay, current moved from P to Q, R to S like this. Okay, this was the initial situation. Now after 180 degree of rotation, what has happened? What has happened after 180 degree of rotation? Yes. This has just shifted. Okay, this has just shifted like this. P, Q, okay, this becomes R, this becomes S. Now you find out what will happen. The current will move from where to where? Q to P or P to R? Yes, just find out the direction now. This is moving downward, okay, and this is moving upward. Yes, use right hand thumb rule, Fleming's right hand rule. The magnetic field will be in this direction, the force is in this direction. Now the current direction is from where to where? Q to P. Initially, see, it was from P to Q. In the same wire, the direction was from P to Q. Now it is from Q to P. Here it was from R to S. It will become from S to R. Yes. So it has changed. Okay. It has changed its direction. Did you understand this now? So this is how will the things happen in AC generator. Okay. This is how the things will happen in the AC generator. Now, we are going to see this much. You have understood or not? The concept of this figure, have you understood? The concept of this thing you have understood? Yes. See here, from 0 to 90, it is coming maximum. Okay, from 0 to 90 it is coming maximum. From 90 to 180, okay, it's minimum. Again it has become 0 on horizontal position. When horizontal, the current is 0. When horizontal, the flux linked is 0. Everything will be 0. Okay, when maximum, see the EMF induced is maximum 90 degree. I told you na that from horizontal position to the vertical position, what will happen? Slowly what will happen? The EMF induced will increase. So from this position to this position, the EMF slowly will increase, and at this point it is maximum. Now from here again, when it rotates after this end, and it is somewhat like this now again. Okay, from this position to this position, when it rotates, so again it decreases up to 0. Then after that, when it starts, it changes its direction. So this is the way after 180 degree it happens. I hope you have understood this complete figure. Yes. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt in this now? Okay, fine. Now we will see the use. Okay, now we will see the use of slip ring, okay, and carbon brush. Now you just see here the rotation of the coil. Okay, first it was like this. Okay, first it was like this, then it has become vertical, then again it has flipped its position like this, then again it will become vertical like this. Okay, now when it is happening like that, what do you think will happen to the wire? Okay, if the wire is connected, if a simple wire is there, okay, if I connect this wire with some source, suppose, okay, if I connect this wire with some source, suppose, so what will happen? The wires will get twisted. Okay, they will get entangled. They will get here entangled. Can you visualize it? When it rotates, what will happen? This wire will get twisted. This will get entangled. So that you don't need. That you don't want to happen. So for that, what we have done, we have connected this. We have connected this with the cylinder. Okay, we have connected this with the cylinder like this. So individually what we have done, we have connected this with the cylinder here. Okay, this one with this. Okay, so that it rotates within it, and we have made a connection. We have made a connection out of it like this, so that if anything is happening, this wire, if you see, do you see this wire over here, this black color wire, here and here, they are allowed to be in contact. They're in contact with the slip rings. Okay, the surface of the slip rings. So they just drag over it. They are just getting, what do you say? With contact is there. Okay, there is a contact between them, so that the connection is established. And from here, carbon brushes are there to take out the current. Okay, to get the current from this. So this is the use of slip rings. Okay, what does T by 2, T by 4 and T means? Okay, see, when it is horizontal, okay, I'll explain the figure itself, it will be easy. When it is horizontal, suppose if I assume that point to be 0, okay, I assume that when it is horizontal, that time is 0. Here they have assumed when the EMF is maximum. Okay, they have assumed the position. They have started from this position. Okay, suppose I'm going with the book only. So suppose this is 0 position. Okay, now when it is horizontal, okay, so how much angle this has rotated? Yes, how much angle it has rotated? 90 degree. So from here to here, it is 90 degree. Okay, from here to here it is 90 degree. Now again from here to here, when it has become vertical again, so again it's plus 90, so that is 180 degree. So from this position to this position, it has rotated 180 degree. Okay, now again when it comes back, when again it comes back from this position, you see, to this position, so how much rotation it has done? How much rotation it has done? Has it done 360 degree? So 360 I have divided in t time. Okay, so how it is, I have divided that in, we have divided in 4 intervals. One, when it is vertical. Okay, second 90 when it is again horizontal, then again when it is vertical again, then again when it is again horizontal, okay, but on the opposite side, and then one again it is vertical. So from here to here 90 degree, which is t by 4 time period. That is a time period. T is the time period from 1 to 1, the total oscillation. This is again 180 degree. So this is t by 2 becomes, it becomes from here to here, it becomes plus 90. Okay, so 270 degrees. So this becomes 3t by 4, and from here to here it is total t. So this is actually time period. From this rotation to this rotation, again one complete rotation is what? Time period. One complete rotation is what? Time period. Okay, so that is what t has been shown with. Is it okay now? Did you understand this? Yes. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt in this now? Okay, fine. Now the next is eddy currents. So with eddy currents, we will finish this chapter. Last topic of the chapter, eddy currents. Can anyone tell me the meaning of eddy? Can anyone tell me the meaning of eddy? This word over here. Yes. Can anyone tell me the meaning of eddy? The temperature change on Earth. No. You are not allowed to search in dictionary. You are not allowed to search in the dictionary or on net. So many people would have been doing that. No, it's on. It's not a name. 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 Have you heard about a company name? Whirlpool. Yes. Have you heard about this company name? Whirlpool. So can you tell me the meaning of this word, whirl? Can you tell me the meaning of this word, whirl? Yes. Can you tell me the meaning of this word, whirl? Spinning. Spinning is not a better word that, okay, twisting water, cyclone spin. Can you give me an example where you have seen a whirl? Can you give me an example where you have seen a whirl? In daily life, where you have seen a whirl? Yes. Washing machine, okay. Mixie, What about wash basin? What about wash basin? What about wash basin? Have you seen the motion of the water? Have you seen the motion of a water in a wash basin? Yes. So that is exactly what whirl is called. That is what exactly a whirl is called. Okay. And if you get a chance to see a river, okay, to see a river, okay, from top, from a bridge, you will be able to see small whirls like that, okay, in river, okay, in a flowing water. In sea, you are not able to see that, okay, because of the waves you cannot do that. But in rivers, okay, when you are on like bridges, pool, okay, then you can see a small whirls over that in water, in river water. Okay, so anyway, I have told you what is whirl. Whirl and eddy are the same thing. Whirl and eddy are the same thing. Okay, so now you have a basic idea. Whirl, current, a current which is whirling. Okay, a current which is whirling. Okay, so its motion will be, the current will be like this. The current would be like this. Okay, now we'll just see this now. What is, or how can we understand this eddy current? Now, suppose if there is a coil, okay, suppose there is a coil like this. Suppose I have a coil, okay, I have a coil, and what we are doing is, what we are doing from this coil is that there are so many number of turns, there are so many number of turns, and we have a bar magnet. We have a bar magnet, okay, North Pole, South Pole, and we tie this bar magnet with the rope or a string, and we just oscillate it. We just oscillate this bar magnet. Okay, we just oscillate this bar magnet like this towards, like this, okay, towards like this. If I oscillate it, okay, like this, if I oscillate, what will happen? Can you figure it out? What will happen if I oscillate it like this? What will happen if I oscillate it like this? Yes, anyone? If I give it an amplitude and if I oscillate it like this, what will happen? Induced current will flow. Fine, induced current will flow. Good. Due to that induced current, after some time, this oscillation will stop. After some time, this oscillation stops or not? After some time, this oscillation stops or not? Yes. Okay, fine. Fine, good. Now, if I remove this, if I remove this coil, and then again, if I oscillate this, okay, if I again oscillate it like this, so in which case, it will take longer time to come to rest? When there is, when there is a coil, or when there is no coil? In which case it will stop first? One, when there is a coil, or second, when there is no coil? Without a coil it will stop first, or in the presence of coil it will stop first? You have to write down that in which case it stops first. A, in presence, or B, in absence of coil. Which is the correct option? In which case this magnet stops first? Option A, option B. In the presence it stops first. Because there is a opposing force. because there is an opposing force. The force will always be opposing. Okay, the force will always be opposing because this magnet is not going through the magnet. So there is no point that it will have an attractive force. Okay, so always, because it is trying to approach, because it was trying to approach, always this magnet was trying to approach. Okay, always this magnet was trying to approach this coil. Okay, so nowhere at the point, okay, it is crossing the coil. So that's why there is no attractive force and then repulsive. Okay, so always there will be a repulsive opposing force. So in the presence of coil, this magnet stops first. All of you can visualize that situation? Can all of you visualize this situation? Yes, can all of you visualize this situation? Yes. Okay, fine. So what we have understood from here now, that if I remove this coil, okay, and then if I give it oscillation, what will happen? This magnet will stop delayed after a long time, but when we have a coil, it will stop earlier. Okay, now I'm changing the situation. Now I will change the situation and I'll come back to this eddy current concept. Instead of a coil, we have a metal sheet. Okay, we have a metal sheet now. Now, what is your opinion? There is no coil now. Instead, there is a metal sheet. Okay, there is a metal sheet we are having. Now, what will happen? Can you tell me? Still, what is happening? This magnet, okay, this magnet is oscillating like this. Will it stop in the presence of this sheet, or will this stop earlier in the presence of sheet or in the absence of the sheet? Yes. So let me tell you, this will stop earlier in the presence of sheet only. Why? Because there are induced current here. Why there are induced current? Because this sheet is not a continuous object. Because this is not a continuous object, I can have number of coils. I can assume that this is a combination. This metal sheet is a combination of so many coils. Okay, I can assume that this is made up of n number of coils. And how can I do that? Just see over here. Just see this thing. I'm trying to draw that all those coils over here. Just try to visualize it. Okay, so this is one coil, then this is the another coil, then this is the another coil, this is another coil. So it is made up of so many coils. Like this. Okay, so that's why we are saying that even when there is a metallic sheet, still what happens? There will be a induced current. Now the induced current set up over here, which will get set up over here is eddy current. It is called as eddy current. Now, what is the difference from this and this coil? What is the difference between this and a normal coil? That in this case, you had a particular path, because in between, see here, if there is a coil, so there is a path for it. There is a definite path for the current to move. It cannot move everywhere because in between we have no conductor. But in this case, everywhere the conductor is there. In the sheet. So the current will be induced such that it follows the least resistive path. So Now, what is the situation over here? If we have a metal sheet, so this current would follow any path which is least resistive for it. Try to understand this concept over here. See, there is not a particular path in the sheet as it is for this coil, okay? In this coil, what is there? You have a forced path for induced current to flow. Yes or no? For this sheet, for this coil, you have a definite path in which the current will flow. But in this case, it is not there. Anywhere the current will move. So does a current follows that thing? Anywhere the current will flow, or it will follow a least resistive path? Yes, the current will flow in a least resistive path or any path. Try to answer this question. Yes, the current would follow any path, or it would follow the least resistive path. It will follow the least resistive path. It will not follow any random path. It will try to follow the least resistive path for it. Okay. Now, for this current which is getting induced, the least resistive path will be this, or it will be a small circular path. Which one is the case? Is it path A or is it path B? Which one is suitable, A or 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 B? B is suitable, not A. If you are saying that A is suitable, then you see it has to cover this complete conductor, this complete length of the metal it has to go. So as length increases, what happens to resistance? Yes. As length increases, what happens to resistance? It also increases. But for this path, the length is less. Okay, the length is less, so the resistance will also be less. Now, out of A and B, which one it will follow? A or B? Out of A or B, which one this current will follow? Path A or path B? Yes, it will follow path B, not A. Why? Because as length increases, resistance increases, and the current will follow the least resistive path only. Current follows least resistive path only. That's why it will be in this. That's why it will be like small volts. That's why it will be like small volts. Okay. And these currents will also follow Joule's law of heating. These currents will also follow Joule's law of heating. Did you understand this? Now, what I recommend you to just go through this thing. What do you say? The theory of eddy current. The theory of eddy current you can read. Okay. The theory of eddy current you can read now. Understood? Whatever I have told you, okay, just keeping that thing in the mind. Okay. Now see here what we have done. What we took was that we had a metal plate. We had a metal plate which was stationary, and we rotated magnet. Now in this case, what they have done, they have kept magnets constant, and they are rotating the metal sheet. Okay, they are rotating the metal sheet. Okay, so anyway, both are the same thing only. Okay, either you rotate or you oscillate this magnet, or you oscillate the metal sheet. So they have tried to oscillate the metal sheet. Okay, do you understand this now? So just try to read this, okay, and try to find out the proper theory of this now. That is your job. Okay, because this is a this is a theoretical topic. Okay, you just try to read this now and try to find out the proper definition out of this. Okay, These things will be important. These things will be important. Okay, these things will be important. These things will be important. Okay, eddy currents and its advantages. Eddy currents and its advantages. Okay, see the magnetic braking systems in train. Okay, the magnetic braking systems in the train. The trains will have that sheet. Okay, and when it rotates, what happens between the magnetic field generated? What will happen? They will stop. They will stop. So both the sides we create a electromagnet. When you apply a brake, so what happens? There is a coiling. There is a coil here and here. So north pole and south pole gets developed, and in between there is an axle. Okay, and when you are rotating it, what happens? There is an eddy current induced in this, and so when it eddy currents are there, so what happens? This disc stops, and hence that axle stops. So that is a magnetic braking system. If you are able to understand this, okay, fine. Otherwise, I will use like analysis and then try to make you understand this eddy current. Okay, but for you, it's just a theory. You just read it. I'm sure that you will be able to understand now. Okay. So with this, we will end this session as well as this chapter is finished. Tomorrow we will start doing the questions from NCERT book only. Okay, or did you get this thing? Seekers material? Did you get Seekers material? All of you are having Seekers material? Are you having Seekers material? Okay, so do one thing, just send me. Okay, just today itself, anyone, just take a screenshot and send me, because I don't have. Okay, not most students. Okay, so do one thing, you just send me anybody who has. Okay, anybody who has it, you just send me. Then tomorrow we can solve the questions from there. Okay, otherwise we'll start with this. Okay, otherwise we'll start with this. Okay, NCERT exercises. Fine. So this chapter is done. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow we'll only do the revisions. So what would be the result if one side of the magnet, a coil, is kept? I can't understand the question, dear. What would be the result if one side of the magnet, okay, one side of the magnet, a coil is kept, and other side a metal sheet is kept? Okay, okay, I got it. So what you are asking me, that north south, here you want to place a coil, here you want to make a magnet sheet. So it's still here induced current, eddy currents, here normal current. Okay, normal induced current in the coil, eddy currents in this. Normal induced current in coil, eddy current in this. If this magnet oscillates like this, if this magnet oscillates like this, okay, if this magnet oscillates between this and this, if the magnet oscillates between sheet and this coil, okay, a normal induced current in the coil will happen, okay, which will oppose the south polarity. So a south polarity will be induced here, and here there will be induced eddy currents induced. Okay, in this sheet there will be induced eddy currents. Did you understand? Okay, so fine. With this, I'll end this session. Thank you.